Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I am your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
No, he does not. My name is Mike Piwowarski. I am your co-host. I am from the East Coast. It's the co-host with the most, from the coast with the most. Here on The Rundown, 2A views, conservative news. Craig, do you know what day it is?
Do you know what day it is? I do believe it's Hump Day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
Oh, yes, that's right, folks. It is officially Hump Day. This is the day in which we attempt to begin the weekend. And on a good week, man, Wednesday is as good a day to start the weekend as any.
You know, that sounds like a good idea. Hold on a second. All right, I'm good.
All right, he's good. So he is now prepared to do his impression of Sir Mix-a-Lot, the bartender, not the DJ.
I like big butts.
But.
We talking different Sir Mix-a-Lot? I mean,
different Sir Mix-a-Lot. Definitely a different Sir Mix-a-Lot. This is a Sir Mix-a-Lot that involves the numerous different types of spirits there at Location Bravo.
Oh, I was thinking about the one where, other brothers can't deny.
No, we're not talking. This is a family show.
Okay, got it. Right.
Pretty weird family, but a family show nonetheless.
There we go.
All right, folks. Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and get on into it. But by the way, just so you know, make sure that if you're watching us, make sure you encourage your friends to do the same. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook. You can watch us on OpsLens or on Rumble. You can watch us on Spotify. You can also listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And by the way, that includes Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Podcast Addict, where we appear to be gaining ground as a very popular form of infotainment.
Oh, you meant Sir Mix-a-Lot like if I was mixing a drink.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's not the Sir Mix-a-Lot I know.
Right. Okay. Well, you'll learn. All right, Mike. Let's go ahead and jump into today's topics. All right. This first one. Now, this is a story that actually we I don't want to say just found out about, but this is a story that is relatively new, and it's a pretty big one. And I know that when we start throwing the acronyms into the titles, I know some of you out there who aren't in the gun community don't really know or understand them, but the ATF has actually issued an interesting warning. What'd you say? Oh, the
AFT.
I'm sorry. The AFT has issued a warning to FFLs. Now, for those of you who do not know what an FFL is a federal firearms licensee. And in this warning, they are requesting that, or not requesting, they are demanding that FFLs provide information to them on anyone who has had their background checked through NICS. That's the National Instant Certification System, National. I forget what it's called. Anyway, the national database, national contact list. Anyway,
Yep.
The National Instant Criminal Background Check System, which is what is used for background checks. And if you are delayed, if your background check is delayed or denied, they are basically saying that you now, as an FFL or FFLs, are required to pass all of that information along to them there over at the AFT. Now, maybe it's just me, Mike, but this sounds like a serious case of overreach.
Craig, it's actually exactly that, and it's amazing that they would come to FFLs for this. So for the people to understand why ATF has to do this, the FBI is the one that does the background checks. The FFLs either they call NICS or use their computer to get through to NICS. a couple of states that you go through the state, and then the state goes to the FBI. So the FBI does the background check information. Now, per law, under the 1986 amendment to the Gun Control Act, right? It said all that information must be deleted within 48 hours. So whoever gets a background check digitally or got done with the old phone system had to be deleted within 48 hours. So the FBI has this information. So the ATF wants it. So what do they do? Do they go to the FBI, a partner agency? No, because the FBI is under the guidance of law already to dismiss that information. So they're coming to the FFLs and telling the FFLs, we want the information from you. Well, it's already clear in the law that the information is not supposed to be maintained, for database purposes. The ATF has not said the reason they want this information. Hey, Craig, maybe they're going to do and actually enforce a law. Somebody with a bad background check that was in possession of a firearm, but they don't give any indication of that. And I know they don't have to, but the method to do this is not to go to the FFLs and put the burden on them, because they're doing that in order to find more offenses and shut down more FFLs. They're already a Fed. They're already at the federal level. If they want this information, all they got to do is go, hey, AFBI, can we get that from you? Okay, thanks, man. And it's that easy.
Well, yeah, but I think there's something more nefarious going on. And once again, I don't trust the ATF. I don't trust the new director of the ATF. I believe this is it is a way in which to once again add to the whoever the list of people who are prohibited. And what they're going to be doing is in other words, if you are denied, for example, and you're in California, and then later you go to buy a firearm, say in Arizona, because you've moved, you will continue to be denied. I think that's what their eventual goal is. Not really even looking into and trying to figure out. You would think that maybe they want to look into it to figure out and make sure, is this real or is this a fake, or is this a fake denial? Because something like 47,000, there's some false negatives every year on background checks or something like that. I guess we don't know. I guess Mike is not sure. Now, actually, Mike, I'm sure, is quite sure. Mike appears, though, to be a wee bit frozen. So that happens sometimes, folks, when we're doing the show in the middle of the day, and we are trying to be in we're trying to utilize the internets or the Webernets, and sometimes we don't have the exact type of coverage that we would like to have. But it is what it is. But yeah, we need to be very, very careful when stuff like this is going on, when information is being put out there, what's the word I'm looking for? When they're looking to get information from us regarding regarding firearms. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't trust the government with our data. I don't trust the government with our information, especially the ATF, because they've already proven that their goal is, quite frankly, their goal is to take away our fundamental right to keep and bear arms. And I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's going on with Mikey, but like I said, we appear to have lost him at the moment. I will keep randomly checking in with him. So anyway, so that's an interesting story. So know this: if you've had a background check denied or delayed, know that if they comply, and I'm pretty sure that there are probably going to be some folks who are going to decide not to comply, know that information is then going to be made available, or going to be made available to the AFT, and that's not something that we are cool with. All right, let's move on to the next story. All right, so moving on to the next story. Oh, wait. It looks like we've got Mike back. Let me go ahead and plug him in, because I'm sure he might have some closing comments here regarding the AFT. Hold on, Mike. I'll have you on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go.
So the doctor says rectum damn near killed him. Oh, hey, Craig, welcome back. What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
We were talking about the AFT.
Oh, AFT. Yeah, listen, come on. Incredible overreach, putting the pressure on the FFLs, trying to make them comply just so they can come around and take their licenses. They're forcing the FFLs to perform an illegal act. It's really that simple. You know, it's unbelievable what they're trying to do at this point. Well, I mean, what's next? Raid the former president's personal residence? I mean, who knows?
See, now you said that, Mike, as if that was something that was not even a possibility.
Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Would it be that stupid to do something? That stupid to rile up his base and make them even more fervent than they are? That stupid enough to people that were following DeSantis and other Republicans and thinking about voting for them and immediately turn them back to Trump because how dare they? Nah, I don't know what we're talking about.
All right. I'm just having a little bit of trouble getting you and me back on the thingy. So
Just you.
just you and me, dude. Just you and me, dude. So let's go ahead and move on to our next story. All right. So the next story that we've got here. Let's move that around. So there has been, and we've all seen it. We've seen the number of people or the individuals who have been under investigation by Democrats who have had raids on their home, like, you know, late night or early morning raids with armed agents, interestingly, with CNN in tow, visiting their homes, their places of business, investigating them, doing these raids. And, you know, people who literally, for things like contempt of Congress because they refuse to testify or refuse to turn over documents or something like this. People for offenses that have never, I mean, the stuff that is just doesn't happen. Right? Up to and including our president's home being raided. I can't even think of any other way to put it, but then basically raiding his home, right? So what has happened now is so we've seen that happen on the Democrat side. Well, Republicans are now basically saying enough is enough. Just so y'all know, Democrats, and this was from Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy is the Republican leader in the House of Representatives. And Kevin McCarthy basically made it known yesterday or earlier today that, check it out, Democrats, you better hold on to and maintain all your documents, because if you do not, you could wind up in a boatload of trouble. Because let's just be real, right? We know that you guys did not use anything substantive. You didn't do anything right or righteous in order to be able to have access to this data and this material. So there are going to be investigations once the Republicans take over. So guess what? Make sure you hold on to your stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. I mean, this act that they performed here, you know, day and a half ago, Craig, is going to be the fire and brimstone that sets everything going, right? This is going to have such a wrath that comes from it, that it's going to be painful to watch. You know, the violence that comes down upon them from paperland. Let's say it that way. I would never say physical violence, right? It's not what I meant. But they are going to get, you know. We talked about, right, draining the swamp, right, and the president didn't get a chance to do that. You know, this is going to be full sail, you know, terminations and raiding of people. And if they won't go, we're going to raid your house. We're going to come to your house in the middle of the night. We are going to come after you. This administration, the next administration, you have lit the fuse. All right, you have weaponized their agenda, is what you've done. The Democrats, you came the closest you've come, and you have come the closest you've come ever within the past 48 hours of seeing a real insurrection. You have started something that you may not be able to put away, and you thought, oh, this will work. We'll make him look really bad, and nobody will ever vote for him.
Well, because in the end, when you've got folks, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody saying, look, you better have something more than National Archives records that you were looking for to raid once again, not just the former president's home, but the in essence, front runner to become president in the next presidential election. I mean, I can't even begin to talk about how dangerous a precedent. I mean, when people talk about this making us look like a banana republic, that's exactly what they're talking about, because this is crazy. And
It
they
does not
better
make,
come up.
let's be clear, Craig. It doesn't make us look like a banana republic. It makes the Democrats look like a banana republic.
Well, but
And it makes-
people outside of the United States, to other countries, it's all the same. It makes the United States looks bad.
There's not a person on this globe that doesn't know the difference between Biden and Trump, and they know what this is.
Yeah.
This is, you know, like you said, this is banana republic. And what happens in a banana republic when you pull nonsense like this?
Oh well, there are often revolutions. if the heads usually wind up rolling, both figuratively and sometimes literally. But
I want you to think about what tyranny is. This falls smack under the definition of tyranny.
Right.
You have a political party that is trying to voice themselves, is trying to be heard, and make themselves available for the next election. And this comes along. This is tyranny, pure and simple. This is what the Second Amendment was written for, Craig. This is the reason we have a constitution.
You know, one would think that this is something that you do if either you know for sure that you've got something. I mean, we're talking beyond a shadow of a doubt. You've got something, and you've got something big, not something small, not something minuscule, but you've got something huge. That's number one. And then number two, you either think that, well, we're going to get away with this. And let me just be real. If they think they're going to get away with this, if they don't have something real, no. By the way, the investigations that we're going to be talking about, the ones that Kevin McCarthy are talking about, these are not going to be fake Russia dossier style conspiracies. These are literally going to be, look, we're going to make you prove that you had evidence enough for all of this persecution that you did. Because you know, and I heard Eric Trump say this, is literally they have started this attack on Donald Trump, this impeachment of Donald Trump from the day he rode down that escalator in 2015, declaring that he was running for president. From then on, the fix has been in, and they weren't able to do it in 2016. They were successful in doing it in 2020, although many believe they cheated. I will not question nor support the validity of their claims. I think those of you who've watched the program know where both Mike and I stand on that. But the fact is that this right here, and by the way, there's no doubt when I talk about cheating, there's no doubt that the media that's supposed to be unbiased was on their side. There's no doubt. There's absolutely, positively zero doubt that the media was on their side. So, if nothing else, the misinformation, and let me clarify, disinformation of the media in and of itself was enough cheating. Just saying.
Yeah, all good points. This is going to be felt long and hard. Craig, when this is time, like you said, to go have hearings in Congress, it's not going to be some sham court. It's going to be arrests made, U.S. Marshals serving warrants, bringing people before the Supreme Court, before the Congress of the United States to answer the charges placed against them.
Right.
That's what's going to be happening.
Ain't gonna be no highly, and it's not going to be like highly produced. Not ain't gonna be no little snippets. It is going to be all the facts and nothing but the facts.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
So just Democrats, I hope you better start burning stuff now. better rev up those shredders, because Republicans are coming for them. They're coming for that information.
When the President Trump got elected, all right, we all saw where he said because Hillary would be in jail, right? And when he got elected, they made the decision. His cabinet made the decision. His team made the decision. We're not putting anyone in jail. We're going to heal the country. We're going to bring them together. Hillary could have gone to jail day one, folks. Day one. We all know what happened, is she violated the law with her server and her top secret clearance and on her BlackBerry and everything else. And that's just the out in the open stuff. Could have gone to jail day one. They decided not to do it because they wanted to heal the country. And this is what you do. You think this is going to help? You're going to be so far under the jail that you're not going to see daylight ever again. It's going to be, and we're all going to laugh and dance on your grave. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Don't care.
it's going to be ugly, and I'm sadly, I want to say I'm looking forward to it, but I wish it never had to come to this. But
Yeah.
I don't see how it doesn't come to this. Just my thought.
Right.
All right, moving right along. Speaking of the January 6th committee, our good friend and staunch conservative Liz Cheney, she's got a new ad out. Now, and the reason why I entitled this particular piece One Last Gasp is because Liz Cheney is on her way out. Liz Cheney is not going to be, win re-election. Just to be honest, she's on her way out. Well, she decided on her way out to put out a piece on Fox News. She paid for an advertisement on Fox News, and now she's like, "Oh, well, it's going viral." It's going viral because it makes her look really bad. But this is her father, Dick Cheney, basically claiming that. Well, you can watch the commercial, and you'll see what he's saying about Donald Trump.
In our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He is a coward. A real man wouldn't lie to his supporters. He lost his election, and he lost big. I know it, he knows it, and deep down, I think most Republicans know it. Lynn and I are so proud of Liz for standing up for the truth, doing what's right, honoring her oath to the Constitution, when so many in our party are too scared to do so. Liz is fearless. She never backs down from a fight. There is nothing more important she will ever do than lead the effort to make sure Donald Trump is never again near the Oval Office. And she will succeed. I am Dick Cheney.
All right. So let's be clear. So she is such a stand-up, hard-fighting Republican that she got her daddy to come to her defense. Daddy, man, the orange man is being mean to me. Please, will you go on TV and say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what? You shot your friend in the face. I'm done with you.
Wait, hold on. Now, who here has not shot their friend in the face, Greg? I mean, come on. You know, that's not a bad thing, right? Come on. Happens all the time. People go around shooting people in the face all day long.
In the face!
Listen, here's what I want to know. This guy's had like 9 heart attacks. I want to know who his heart surgeon is because I got to put that guy on my Rolodex in case something ever happens to him.
the guy who keeps him going?
Yeah, exactly.
He's Franken Cheney.
That's why you can only see him from about here down because the rest of it's just a giant mechanical heart that he sits on.
I mean, come on now. You had to pull him. Dude, first of all, let's just be clear. You calling Donald Trump names because he wasn't nice to your daughter. I get it. I'm a dad. I would want to do something like that. Although I would probably just go and, want to punch him in the mouth. If you could get past the Secret Service. You don't talk about my daughter like that, even if she is wrong.
Yeah. That's what he should have said. Yeah. You don't talk about my daughter like that, even if she is wrong. Then we would have had more respect for him. They'd be okay.
Let us be
dad.
clear.
Good dad, yeah.
All right. So I'm assuming this commercial was done recently, which means he's seen everything that Joe Biden has done to this country and on behalf of this country. If he still believes that Donald Trump is the most dangerous threat to this country and not Joe Biden, well, then we're going to have to add him to that list of folks who are completely and utterly senile or completely utterly corrupt.
There you go. It's a little bit of both, right? Coming from that from the White House right now.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of both. So, Craig, I think we should take his video there and put it up against former President Trump's video, which was published yesterday. I don't know if you saw that 3 minutes of brilliance that he's put out.
I did not see that, but let's tell you what. Let's set aside a segment
tomorrow here on the show.
Tomorrow here on the show. We will run it here tomorrow on the show. We'll have to. We got to make sure to run that one tomorrow. All right, moving on to our next story. In Sacramento, there was a couple of months back. There was a teacher who was caught by Veritas, by Project Veritas. He was caught on video basically, basically saying that he was indoctrinating students into Marxism and communism. He was an pro-Antifa teacher. He made no bones about it. He was just flat out, look, I got 9 months with them to indoctrinate them, and he would give them assignments. He would give them extra credit if they went to Antifa rallies and protests and riots. It was just bad. So anyway, they wound up immediately taking action as soon as they could. And by the way, about as faster than I thought they legally could or would be able to in California than I thought they would, but they wanted to make sure they got him out of the classroom. Well, now turns out because in California, once you've been teaching for 2 years, you're pretty much almost guaranteed a job for life. It's almost impossible to get rid of a bad teacher. In fact, in California, it takes an average of $250,000 and 3 years. And well, guess what? The pro-Antifa teacher is given 3 years salary, right? So he's going to get 3 years of his salary in order to leave teaching, in order for them to be able to let him go. Now, once again, Mike, this is a flat-out communist teacher who's teaching principles that are 100% against all that we believe here in the United States, all that we're supposed to be teaching and raising our young people to believe. And the benefit for him is 3 years salary, and probably keep his benefits for a while.
And did they give him a little puppy husky when he left too? I'm not sure what we were watching there. That was, you see the video there underneath your. I'm not sure what the video was.
Oh, that was something that was a video from the New York Post. I don't even know what it was.
Oh.
You know how they
so
embed videos that don't have anything to do with the actual story?
We were talking about the story. Now, he's got 3 years. I figured they're walking him out. They're putting him in his car, and there's a woman with the baby husky, a little puppy husky.
Mike was like, "Ooh, a puppy."
It was like a puppy. So yeah, listen, Greg, 3 years salary. So this still ends up and benefits probably, and what they've spent up to this point. So it probably still end up costing $250,000. They just instead of taking the full 3 years, they decided to buy the 3 years from him and give him the money.
Well, exactly. Total, it's $190,000 because he makes about $60,000 a year. And then there's also, by the way, the legal fees because they're going to have to not only pay their attorney, but they're going to have to pay court fees, and they're probably going to have to pay his attorney. It's probably all going to be part of the settlement.
Yeah, so probably somewhere close to $250 when they're done. So the benefit is it still costs what it would cost to get rid of him after 3 years, but he's out of the classroom after less than half a year. So.
Well, my question is, how do you not know this guy is a communist? Especially when he has pictures of Mao Zedong, and the Antifa flag up in his classroom. How do you not know that this guy is a communist or teaching communism?
You're in California and you're eating the hash brownies at lunch, and that's what's legal there, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's what's going on, folks. When your Governor Newsom put those ads out there about come to California, this is what you can expect. This is what you get. We might get a guy who throws a alligator through a drive-through window, but that's a one-time.
Look, that's a rarity. Communist teachers are kind of a commonality in California.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good stuff. All right, let's move on to our parting shots. All right, this first one was actually a very interesting one because it actually came from, I take it with a grain of salt because of who said it, but I'll read it and then I'll show you who said it. So it's a tweet. And it says that the DOJ must immediately explain the reason for its raid, and it must be more than a search for inconsequential archives, or it will be viewed as a political tactic and undermine any future credible investigation and legitimacy of January 6th investigations. And who said this? None other than disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Now, while I agree with the statement, and he is a total leftist liberal, I don't know how much validity it really has. I don't know how much weight it really carries.
Well, you know why he put this statement out, right? Because he doesn't want the DOJ to raid his house.
That is an excellent point.
We can't be doing that. Nobody said that was on the table. Nobody told me we could have DOJ raids at our house. We can't have that.
All right, now this next one I think explains a lot, because for a lot of people may or may not know that while Trump's lawyers were not allowed to get a copy of the warrant, they literally just got to look at it briefly, but part of it, from what I understand, was sealed. And there has not been a list of things that have been, there has not been a list put out of what actually they confiscated, what they found at the house. And I believe President Donald Trump, in an exclusive interview with Tucker Carlson, has revealed why we haven't heard that yet. And here comes the meme. It's basically Donald Trump with his golf hat on talking to Tucker Carlson laughing hysterically as Donald Trump says, "Then they raided my safe. It was full of pictures of Hunter smoking crack."
Hey-oh.
Yeah, I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that he had definitely had pictures of Hunter Biden smoking crack and other things that came off of the laptop. Because, if Rudy Giuliani had the laptop and had everything on it, I'm sure he shared that with Donald Trump.
Listen, if there's one man who could have pulled that off, that guy right there at the red hat. He's got a safe full of Hunter Biden no-nos.
Okay, here's my question. Here's an interesting question. This may be a way in which they were able to get Donald Trump. All right. So it's rumored that on his laptop there were pictures of there were videos of Hunter Biden with underage sex workers. So if Donald Trump was in possession of those videos, does that mean he now is legally liable because he could be in possession of child porn?
He was and here's the issue, Craig, right? He was the chief executive officer of all law enforcement agencies at the federal level. That makes him their boss and available to have that information. If anybody comes after this guy, I'm serious. If anybody comes after this guy and tries to put a pair of handcuffs on him or tells him he's got a court date, you're going to think January 6th was a freaking Girl Scout camp. Okay, it's really coming to that simple. And I'm trying to warn those off. Don't go where you're going. Don't go where you're going. And none of us are saying, Greg, directing people, telling people what to do. You are going to rile a base of people that see, the Declaration of Independence as a set of instructions. Okay, stop what you're doing.
Well,
Leave
you're
this
right.
man alone.
You are right in that we're hitting a point where, I hate to say this, but like I said, as much as I would like to let things just move on past this election once Republicans take over, I don't see how it happens because they have literally, this is an attempt, once again, to rig the next election and keep someone out of the election and keep Donald Trump out of the election. And it's not motivated by any crimes that have been broken, by any evidence of any crimes that have been broken. Is literally based on the idea they do not want Donald Trump to be president again, and they're reaching beyond what is ethical, what is legal, what is constitutional, and when they start doing that, well, then they better realize they are going to be held accountable, if not by Republicans when they take over. You can pretty much be assured that the American people will hold them accountable. Just saying. Yep. On that note, let's get on to our shout out to our sponsors.
Hey, let's say a good hello to our good friends over at Guerrilla Machining, Grid Defense, of course, the fine folks at California Republican Assembly, and USCombatGear.com.
Folks, we very much appreciate you tuning in. We also appreciate it when you follow the links and you go and visit our sponsors. They're the ones that make this possible. So go check them out, visit them. If you see something you like and you buy it, make sure you tell them that the guys over at The Rundown sent you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We appreciate you once again tuning in, liking and sharing the program, and encouraging your friends to do the same. We will be seeing you tomorrow on Thirsty Thursday. Y'all take care.
See you then.